Good afternoon. Welcome Amit Bhai and welcome viewers. Today, as a part of C Suit Speaks, we are going to interview Mr. Amit Vyas, who is Managing Director of India's leading FMCG, Amul. Amul is a brand which is known. Amul Doodh Pita Hai India has been such a proud moment to recall when I am interviewing Mr. Amit Vyas. Let me just tell you a brief about C Suit Speaks. C Suit Speaks is a series of interviews to get an understanding of how leadership is peerless, alone at the top, how the managing director, the chief of affairs at Amul contributes to the board amidst challenges and uncertainties. The interviews will inspire professional fraternity and give them guidance about the way forward in career and life. So, Amit ji, a pleasure to have you with us on C Suit Speaks. Amit ji joined Amul in 2012, but before that, he has 27 years of cross-functional experience. He joined in 2012 and he was conferred upon the responsibilities of managing director in 2018. Ever since then, Amul has seen a lot of vibrant changes, like changes in terms of energy conservation, cost management, better capacity utilization, expanding the capacity to third party manufacturing, better use of technology for ease of operations, huge R&D promotion, and introducing some of the most innovative products like Haldi Doodh. He has done his graduation from University of Pune. He is an MBA from IRMA and he is active in Rotary. He is also the member of Indian Dairy Association. Hearty welcome to you, Amit Bhai, and we start with some of the questions. Sir, Amul has been a great experiment in white revolution, right from the time of Tribhuvan Das Patel and Dr. Kurian. So please share the story of Amul till present day.
So first of all, thank you, Nanda madam, and once again, thank you for inviting me and asking me to share my experience on Amul. And in 28 years of my career, 27 years have been with Amul. So to start with, let me tell you, Amul. When people talk of Amul, to be very honest, some thinks that it's a Indian multinational, some think it's a private company, some feels that it's a company which has been owned by someone. But let me tell you very honestly, Amul is not owned by anyone. It's owned by farmers and it's a cooperative. One of the best cooperative model across the world, which people are still studying it, like Harvard University and Michigan State University, and they are studying it, how this model is working for we are into the 75th year. So how this model is sustaining and how this cooperative where there is no owner is working like in today with a turnover from 51,000 crore plus of Amul and purely an Indian brand. So let me tell you, this all started way back in 1946 when we had in this Kheda district a place called Anand, where we are sitting right now, where I am sitting right now. Was in 1946 there was a Polson dairy nearby in Anand, where it used to collect the milk from the farmers and then process it, and all the profit used to go to the this private fellow. Farmers were not getting the good price. So in 1946, what happened was a movement was started by our founder chairman Tribhuvan Patel. He basically went and met Mr. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and said that how can we improve the life of people, because this private fellow is taking away all of our profits and we are not getting anything at this point of time. So what happened was Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel said that, okay, you form your own cooperative, and how and when and where, this is all you need to discuss among yourself. And he said that, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel said that, okay, I'm ready to support you. If you are ready to fight it out, I'm ready to support. And that's where when the farmers of this Khera district got united And you'll not believe the milk commissioner came here and said that farmers are supposed to give the milk to this private Polson dairy, the British government. The farmer said no. They just split the milk in front of the commissioner in those days, British commissioner, and said that no, we are not going to do anything. We are not going to want our own cooperative to be formed. So, because the strike was on, farmers were not giving milk to the producers. The milk used to go from here to Mumbai in those days. So everything was stopped. It was standstill for 7 days, and the farmers were very, very, ready to bear the loss. And that's where when the British government had to go down and said, okay, if you want to form your cooperative, form, because they knew this is a remote village, a very remote village in Gujarat, and that too in a Kheda place called Anand, where people don't know how to speak English, they don't know how to handle the milk, how they would run their cooperatives. That was the remark by those days by Polson dairy person as well as by the commissioner in those days of British government. So what happened? Ultimately, they said just form you form a dairy. So 1946, this Amul dairy was registered. Okay. So once it was registered in 1946, then the milk started getting collected, and there was a resolution. And Moraji Desai also in that time joined the revolution, and he said that okay, I will be also part of that. So by the time India got independence, and a cooperative model was been found. Yes. And the model was at like this is a 3-tier structure. It's a very different model than many of the multinational which is working across the globe at this point of time. It's a village level cooperative model wherein the farmers get together at the village and they form their own cooperative society. That was the first tier. The second tier is where I am sitting right now, is a district level dairy where the milk would come here, they would process it, and in those days there's a small processing plant was made. In 50s, a small processing plant was made, and from here the milk used to go to Mumbai. Now there came the days where because they were farmers, they never knew how to process the milk. So yes. Those days, Dr. Kurian had come here for his internship, which was sponsored by government of India. He had studied abroad and he had come here to in India, and the government had deputed him here because the cooperative was being formed for the milk. So he came here and he was just like a young guy, and he said, what I'm supposed to do here? Let them form there. Tribhuvan Bhai approached Dr. Kurian and said that you should not leave this area. You support us in making this happen. But he really wanted to move away from here. But ultimately, Tribhuvan Kaka could convince Dr. Kurian to stay back. And what you see today is a very different model. And later on, he became the father of White Revolution, and we celebrate National Milk Day on his birthday of 26 November. So what has happened? This model of village level cooperative formation is the tier 1, a dairy formation at the tier 2, and the third model was Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, GCMM. They have a third layer structure where they are supposed to take care of all the products to be marketed under one brand name umbrella of Amul. So what it is like, Khera District Cooperative Milk Producers Union is the first cooperative registered, and its name was given as Amul. That is AMUL, stands for Anand Milk Union Limited. And Amul is basically Amul. Yeah. So that's where the model came in. And then later on, Dr. Kurian went on making this model more viable, and the milk started coming in. Farmers were being organized. They were made self-sufficient by getting processing of milk. Milk used to sell to the market. Later on, when GCMF came in, started going in the districts, then outside in the state, later on in the outside different states of the country. And today we are milk products. All our products are going across the globe. More than 70 countries we are exporting at this point of time. That is, GCMF is exporting. We are manufacturing the product.
And also having your manufacturing unit in US.
That was again in 2012 and 13. We decided that we should now go global, and that was the first plant we started in US, and still we are working on getting more plants in US because we have a lot of Indian population over there, and we said let us first cater to those population. Let us not go in competition with the world, because India itself is a big market for us at this point of time.
Definitely.
So we are having our own today. If you see in totality, is Khera plant itself has got 37 plants. Yes. Itself has got 37 plants. Like in we operate in Gujarat, in Anand, in Khatras we have got cheese plant. In Mogar we have got bakery plant, chocolate plant. We have 2 cattle feed plants. We have one plant in Mumbai, we have plant in Pune, then in Calcutta, we have got 5 plants in Calcutta, in Siliguri also we have got plant, in Sikkim we have got a plant, and in Bihar we have started the operation. The good news is yesterday we got a big plant we purchased a plant in Punjab yesterday, and there is 2 lakh plants. So that deal has been done yesterday, and registration has been done. So we have now presence in northern part of India also. So if you see, and then later on, it was not only about milk. We started diversifying to different products also. Like you have milk, then you have buttermilk, and then you have curd, and then you have cheese and paneer and dahi and ice cream and chocolate and bakery and mark and bread spread, and number of products were been added to this portfolio. And that's why with this one Kera district union, you have got in Gujarat, we have got 18 district cooperative unions.
Yes.
Each union has got his own model. He has got his own chairman, own managing director, and the entire organization with their individual turnovers. So this model is a self-sufficient model, wherein we say that farmer is supposed to pour the milk. We collect the milk from the village level cooperative society, which is only quality based. That entire good, the beauty of this model is that farmer is supposed to, whatever farmer is giving, like milk with fat and SNF, he is getting that value only. So he is giving the milk on quality. Amul is accepting the milk on quality, and we transport the milk to our plant, and we convert this product milk into process into different products, and then we keep it and pack it based on the demand of Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, who in turn look at the total perspective of the entire India as well as abroad, and they give us the order based on the demand, and we convert that and give it to the market, and whatever money that they get from the consumer is been passed on to the dairy. From dairy, this money is transferred to the village level cooperative societies, and village level cooperative society in turn transfer the money to individual farmers. Like if you see, we have got 600,000 in Kera. When I talk of Kera only, it is 600,000 farmers which are registered with us. Pouring members are 300,000 farmers which are pouring at this point of time 2.6 million liters of milk. And for us, right in Kera district, when I talk of Amul, we are handling somewhere around more than 3.5 million liters of milk per day. And in totality, when I talk of GCMMF, where Dr. Sodi is the managing director of that, and we got almost around 225 million liters of milk per day, which is getting collected and converted to different products. Apart from that, this model is self-sufficient, means we are also providing subsidy and good cattle feed for the cattle of the for the farmers. So they also get that benefit that they give good feed to the animals. At the same time, we also ensure good veterinary services. Like we have got more than 200 doctors in our system who basically goes to the village level, and then they feed the animals based on the demand. And now when I talk of the journey from zero in 1946 till date, Amul is fully automated. We have got a call center where any farmer can give a call at any point of time in 24 hours. The call center is on 24/7. Even we generally say that 108 will not reach to a person. By that time, our person would reach to the remotest of the remote village, and the doctor would reach to treat the animal. That is what the model of providing veterinary services at this point of time for our farmers. We also give good seeds to the farmer so that they can grow their crop, and they can use their fodder also for their animals also. So continuously we are in touch with all those farmers, and you'll be very surprised. The model which we have at this point of time is farmer comes to know at the time when he or she pours the milk at the village level cooperative societies. They come to know this is the quantity of milk which has been given, this is the quantity of fat, this is quantity of NM, this is the amount I am supposed to get, this is the amount of deduction on account of cattle feed which I have taken from the society, or the AI services which I have taken from the society. Even anything which is there, the farmer knows what exactly is happening.
Yeah, it's completely transparent.
It's a very transparent system, very clear and transparent system.
Yes.
So whatever consumer gives to the when purchase a product, the money which he gives gets to the GCMMF and then to dairy, and ultimately what happens is that at the end of the year we also give them a kind of everybody expects that some bonus should come in, even employee salary employment preferred. So that model is in which we also give at the end of the year, we give some kind of the bonus with accumulated profits which are there. We also give it to the farmers, so that in the time of COVID, if you see, we had given more than 400 crores in the entire district only. In Kera district, we have given more than 400 crores in last 20 days. We have paid 400 crores to the farmers, so they can take care of their animals as well as their family, their children, their education. They want to buy some bike or scooter or a TV or a fridge, anything which they want. With this money they can use it basically for their livelihood. So it is a self-sufficient model. That is.
I completely agree. Your chief of HR, once I had met him and he said that, मैडम आपके घर में पानी आएगा कि नहीं वो डाउटफुल है, but morning में you will invariably get Amul का दूध. The supplies will never be short. The kind of pride that people have about Amul is all because Amul has evolved as a very trusted brand, and what goes in the foundation of that trust is what you have discussed. Very true. The kind of excitement that you show about even talking about Amul. So, it talks about the love for the company that Amul employees enjoy for their company. You very elaborately discussed about Amul's growth, but we would also like to understand that from engineering graduate to GM maintenance in Amul to managing director of Amul, we would be also interested to know that story as well.
No. To be very honest, ma'am, let me tell you, in our house, in our family, my father is a veterinarian. Okay. And later on, my sister is a dairy technologist, and I'm an engineer. So we have got a family of dairy in our blood. So my father came way back in 70s here to work with National Dairy Development Board in Anand when I was hardly 4 years of age. So to be very honest, I have got all those memories when Amul was growing and I was a child and used to come here in Amul to play cricket in those days. So the memory starts from that time. It is not about starting my career in Amul, but it is from 1974 till date, and I have got all those old photographs which my father took and still have that. I can see my old plant where F60 plant which was made in 64, and I'm playing on the grass with my sister. So the memory goes all the way from there. But to be very honest, I did not start my career with dairy, but I started my career with a chemical plant in Surendranagar. That was Maradia Chemicals. In those days, Maradia was into utensils, and basically they were the company who brought down the prices of the steel in India at that time. And they also entered into a different kind of chemicals. So we had 2,500 acres of land in Surendranagar from Maradia Chemical, and as a young project engineer, I was appointed as a project engineer, though I did not know about anything about project. As a fresh instrumentation engineer, how would you know about projects? So, but they had appointed me as a project engineer in those days. And that's where I started my career, and I worked almost for a year only, because there we happened to make H acid, G acid, Tobias, Bond acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, and dyes and dyes intermediates. The jeans what we wear today, we used to make the dyes, spray dyed dyes in those days. I could have made my career in chemical also as an instrumentation engineer. But what happens, I remember I used to come every weekend to Ahmedabad. We used to stay in Ahmedabad. And as a bachelor, I used to carry all my clothes back home, where my mother used to, when it used to get it cleaned by someone, he said, so much of color is coming out from your dress. What you are doing? You are inhaling chemicals and all, So the biggest disadvantage of the chemical was those days were not, the rules were not stringent. So sulfur dioxide and nitric, that used to harm your body. And I was a young engineer those days. So I said that it's better. And then fortunately there was a vacancy of a deputy engineer in Banas Dairy, Palanpur, which is now Asia's biggest dairy plant at this point of time. And I happened to work. I was fortunate. I happened to go there when Amul was growing. It was at a very small, almost 300,000 liters of milk those days. So there was a vacancy in Banas Dairy, and I applied and I got through. So I said, it's better to have the smell of butter and ghee rather than having a smell of chemicals. So I shifted my career all the way from chemical to dairy, and from there, I always say, by God's grace, by blessings, and apart from that, your hard work, from a deputy engineer to senior engineer to superintendent engineer to assistant executive engineering services, worked with NDDB also in making Asia's most automated dairy plant in Palanpur, where it was 300,000 liters of milk per day. And I remember it used to be told, because NDDB was a National Dairy Development Board, was formed by Government of India to replicate the model of Amul across India. And my father used to work there. And so the good thing I would say was my father came from NDDB to establish one of the dairy cooperatives in Ahmedabad, district cooperative milk, that is called as Uttam Dairy. And later on, after years, I went from union to NDDB on deputation. So it was also vice versa. So
Okay.
on a technical ground, I went based on my technical capability. NDDB took me over there in NDDB for establishing Asia's most automated dairy plant way back in 97, 98 till 2000. So we worked in NDDB and we happened to make Asia's most automated dairy plant in Palanpur. And later on, I happened to become assistant manager operations. And to be very honest, when that was by the time 10 years had gone, but very honestly, only I always say that hard work and positivity takes you to that position. And every 2 years, I was getting promotion because of the working. I was fortunate, or I can say that it's basically only about working. And then after reaching, and when I was at the peak of my, in plant level, if you say assistant manager operations in Banas Dairy, though it is part of Amul Dairy only, the brand still remains under the umbrella of Amul only. And I said it's time to shift because we have now reached to the top, and you have made Asia's most of a dairy plant, fully automated plant. We are operating. What new next? So there was a vacancy at Sumul Dairy, Surat Dairy Cooperative Milk, Sumul Dairy in Surat, and I said, let us try to shift there. And then from there, I got promoted to manager technical in Sumul Dairy. So that was a very conventional dairy. Again, it was the dairy in Banas was 300,000 liters of milk, which we made to 600,000 liters of milk. And there I was again going to which was a fully automated dairy, which I made because I was part of instrumentation engineer. And on the other side was a completely manual dairy, a very conventional and a very, very, old model dairy. So looking to the world best technology, implementing best technology, going to a dairy which was having a manual structure altogether. So I said, it is going to be an opportunity. Let us try to work on that level. Let us accept the challenge. And then I happened to shift from Palanpur to Surat, which was a big town. Fortunately for my family, they were very happy because staying in Palanpur and staying in Surat was a very different experience. So when I shifted in Surat, to be very honest, I took as the challenge that why can't a conventional dairy can be made into fully automated dairy? And that was the one first assignment I took on that day. And after working for almost 10 years over there, by the time I left, I could in 2 years I was promoted to AGM, and in the third year I was made as general manager. So I became general manager technical way back in 2000 and in 2007 I became general manager until 2018. For 11 to 12 years, I remained general manager technical, where I had an opportunity to convert the conventional plant into fully automated dairy plant. Today, if you go to Sumul Dairy, it's a fully automated dairy plant with all the features what you have it in a fully automated there, where the investments in the new plants are very high, and here the conventional plants were converted. There was a myth that it cannot be done. You cannot convert the running plant. Milk is a commodity; it gets spoiled. You cannot stop the refrigeration. You cannot change the process. You have to stick to that plant. No shutdowns can be given. But everything was overcome, and today that dairy has been converted to fully automated dairy. And for that, by the time I became general manager and happened to work as work with the board over there and with the MD, I was being called those days also to become the MD. I remember in 2006 I was being called. But to be very honest, the untold story, I said no, it is not the time for me to become MD of Sumul Dairy, because I still need to work need to understand entire system. The production was there. I was handling entire production of Sumul Dairy, the production, maintenance, projects, engineering, everything. But I internally felt that maybe I may not be that much successful initially, because I was going, because people have to accept, I was working, people were accepting, board was accepting, board called me to become MD, and there were some senior people, so they also wanted to. I said, okay, let them be MD. If they are happy, I am ready to work as a team. And I remained as a general manager, to be very honest. And technical, I worked for till 2012, where I had an opportunity to come to Amul Dairy, because it was my hometown, I would say, it's a home place. So I shifted from 2012, though the family was a bit reluctant. Surat was a good place to live in. Anand is a small town. But I shifted only, we basically shifted, not I, me and my family, shifted on the ground that my parents were staying here, and said, their blessings, we have been reached to this position because of their blessings. Let us go and stay with them, though they would stay with us. So their blessings would always be there. So why to be with Sumul? Let us work with Amul. So people know Amul better than Sumul. So we came to Anand. 2012, I became general manager projects and engineering. and then the journey goes like until we happen to make Asia's very good, most big cattle feed plant. And the good thing was that here the chocolate plant was made, which I never had experience of cheese. I never had experience of non-dairy business because it was only with Amul dairy, and that was the reason I wanted to come here to see how the bakery or how the chocolate or how the malt or how the bread spreads are being manufactured. So all the way came here and then started working, and fortunately there was a requirement, and then interview happened and that became empty.
Same place where you played on the ground. Now that very ground became your playground to shape your career further. So
Yes.
that's really heartening. Very illustrious experiences. Amit ji, I wanted to ask you that you are a professional CEO at Amul, right?
Yeah.
Because this is not owned by anybody, and you have risen from the rank in the dairy industry and you grew to a level. So what is required at Amul to work cohesively with board? Because what kind of complexities do you face in handling the board? Because the board members, their caliber and their background and the caliber of the professionals like you. So what kind of complexities you face when you have to work with the board of directors, the board?
Yeah, but let me be very honest. First thing is that board is basically, if you see the model, you rightly said, those are basic, they all are farmers. And they
Yes.
are the representative of the farmers. I put it like that. They are also farmer
Yes.
member, and they are representative of the farmers of that area. So when they come here, they form the board. We have our Ram Singh Bhai as the chairman for last so many years. So they basically, to be very clear, you need to be very transparent. First thing is this is the model of cooperative. The transparency has been from the village level to collection of milk to the plant and with the people and with the board. So the most important thing in the entire, if you see the model, is the transparency and the trust. Trust would only come when you are transparent. Whether anything good has happened or anything bad has happened, whether a good decision has been taken or a bad decision taken by the executive CEO, it is always better to inform the board, always better to share whatever has happened in the right perspective. And they also understand. And they would only trust you once you start sharing everything with the board. They also understand, they also have people around, they also have their own MI system. But ultimately, what matters for the board and the farmer is that their farmers should get, their members should get good prices of the milk. They should have good veterinary services at their doorstep. They should have good feed available at their doorstep.
Their quality of life has to improve.
Yeah. So what happens is that even the amount which is getting transferred into account, their banking should also be at their doorstep. They don't have much demand. Their demands are basically related to the farmer. How best you can support them, or the technocrats can help them implementing the system at the village level, so that they are all very much comfortable, and more production of milk per animal is basically the key of the entire the India right now. And that is where we all are working on the line, that how this model can be more sustainable with one animal, with less feed, with the environment condition what we have with the subcontinent. You have more milk coming out from the animal. So how do you change the genetics of the animal? They say that, okay, this is what Mr. Vyas, this should be that we should get good price, but per animal milk should also go up. Now this is per animal milk has to go up is a statement. Now as an executive, you are supposed to define that how we would do it. So there are, to be very honest, there is no complexity in the entire system. It is very transparent and very interactive, very interactive. Everyone can speak, anyone can say anything. They can come, they can meet, we can go, we can meet, and we communicate very honestly what is happening in the entire organization. So it is, I always believe that transparency leads to trust, and you need to maintain those trust. That trust has to be maintained by giving the whatever expectation of the board is, or what the expectation of the members of their villages are.
So that's really heartening. the coordination between the board and the professional people working there, if there is a harmony, it solves a lot of conflicts even before they take place.
Yes.
That also gives me an insight into expectations from you changed from GM to CEO level when you were given this, and how did you manage that?
See, and what happens is that, as you rightly said, my field was playing cricket, and now the field is a professional field where I'm working. To be very honest, if you have a good relationship with your peer group or with your people, and you're coming from the same from their things, from their environment, you are reaching to the top. So first thing is the people are, they know the style of working. The most important, they know the style of working. And then for me, to be very honest, as a general manager projects and engineering and making Asia's good very best plans, and then I always had an opportunity, because I remember when my the first boss here, Mr. Rahul Kumar, called me and he said that, okay, you are general manager projects engineering. I want you to look after all the projects engineering, but I also want to give you one plant. And which plant you would like to choose, which will be a profit center.
Okay.
And yeah, so I said, he gave me 3-4 options. He said, one is the cheese plant, which I have never worked with. Then he said, because you are not a technologist, so I would prefer that the plant of Anand remains with someone else. Then we have cattle feed plant, 2 cattle feed plant. One was under construction, was to come up, and there already one plant, and there was a huge, there were a lot of problems in the cattle feed plant. And the last one was the non-dairy business, which was hardly, I remember it was when I joined in 2012, it was hardly 30 or 40 crores of business. It was only that much of business at that point of time. So at that time, cattle feed was very high business. So I told him, sir, I would like to go with the non-dairy business. And he said, Amit, I'm quite surprised. Why you ask for such a small business, which you don't want to take the responsibility? Is it so? Or cattle feed, you feel is more challenging? I told him, sir, see, cattle feed, I've already worked a lot on that. But I never worked on, I told you, on bakery, on malt, or chocolate, or bread spread, I never worked on those products because it is not with any of the unions in the entire Amul group. So I said, this is the opportunity for me to work and learn how to improve this system.
Yes.
And that is where I started working and understanding of the chocolate. I never knew the process of, very honestly. In 2012, I never knew. But later on, we happened to make one of the biggest chocolate plant. So that was a profit center. Looking to that thing was a very small. But if I talk today, the business which was only 40-50 crores and in those days, in 2012-13, is now going to touch 1,000 crore this year.
Okay.
So, yeah. So how you transform that particular model into and that gives you a big horizon to work and think differently. That non-dairy business. Dairy was, I had a lot of experience of dairy. Handling milk, getting milk, processing milk, veterinary service, in-house we have my father as a veterinary doctor giving a lot of inputs. But this non-dairy was not, and then we expanded, when I took over, I said, I have a vision to make it a Moga 2 plant, like we have Amul 2, Amul 3. I said, let us have a Moga 2. So always, if you see that when I took over, the things were at a very, because there you are supposed to look out your own maintenance and production was not your responsibility for entire area, but yes, non-dairy was there. But to see now, as sitting as a CEO, you are looking at 37 plants. Definitely. And I always say, like, it is like when you have to see at 37 places, how do you see that? By the time you blink of eyes, close your eyes and open up, you find that 1.5 crores gone in the system. So you have to be so attentive, and then you need to then make your own system of handling the entire things and make it more comfortable, more simple, more easy, and more approachable, and more with more positivity. Everything clubbed together, the thing starts to move and people starts to accept you. That is the way I personally feel, and my people, I hope my people are also feeling the same way, because I got the kind of support which I got during the COVID time is I cannot express that.
Yes, sure. I accept your humility that you started with dairy plant, but you ended up with non-dairy setup and also making it profitable. So definitely a huge effort and huge achievement indeed for this matter. That brings me to another perspective that how would you describe Amul's culture? How would you ensure that positives of your culture, whatever plus points of your culture, they remain intact? What do you think should be done?
See, madam, the most important thing हमारे यहाँ पे ऐसा कहूँगा कि पाया जो है ना, मैं जो बोलते हैं बेस जो है वो इतना स्ट्रांग है कि उसको हिलाना बहुत मुश्किल है. तो when the building gets up, it is always better to, after some time the life goes, but the base remains the same. Base does not because it's not exposed, it's under the soil. So you have to ensure, as a CEO, have to ensure that this structure remains intact. And then how this structure was built, that values have to be inoculated in the new generation. That is the most important criteria in the entire model. That, okay, Tribun Kaka has those values, Dalaya Sahib has those values, Dr. Kurian also had those values, then our chairman still has those values, and our board also has been updated on those values. Same way on the plant side, whosoever has been here has been working on those pillars. So you need to strengthen those pillars over a period of time continuously by giving them the environment, at the same time upgrading, because what happens is that column जो होता है या building होती है उसको बाहर के थपड़े बहुत लगते हैं. So what happens, वो पूरा बाहर का रस्ट लग जाता है, कुछ टूट जाता है. तो आपको there are two ways. One is to strengthen it, one is to break it and then build another one. But that is not the criteria. You strengthen that building. Right now I'm sitting in a building which is almost 65 years, and in my office is more than 65 years of building, and if you can see that how construction was done way back in those days. So how solid the pillars are, so how solid the base are. So if you see the values which have been inoculated needs to be inoculated in the new generation. And with the technology, Amul has always been, as you rightly said in the beginning, we have been very innovative in coming up with the new products, the new ways of being the marketing body, the new ways of marketing, and we have been always with time. We have changed from time. That is why we are at this place. Today you talk of technology, and we have got the world best technology, whether it is chocolate, whether it is cattle feed, whether it is milk processing, whether it is call centers. You talk of any technology, you talk of sensors on the animals, you talk of Fitbits on animals, we are there. So
I appreciate, yes.
You have to ensure that these technologies are upgraded and these cultures is also inoculated. Like if you see our plants of 19, when powder was first made, nobody in the Europe would say that this powder could be made from buffalo milk. It was never been made in the entire world, but we had buffaloes. So the powder was made from buffalo milk. So technology in those days was brought here. So we always say that world best technology was brought in those days. So for the newer or future generation, we need to get the best technologies available at our doorstep for our people, the new generation which is coming up. And they, at the same time, those core values needs to be inoculated to them with the technology. The new generation very smart in the technology. We gel our culture and the technology with them to make run this organization from 75 to 150 or 200 years.
Perfect. Sure. I'm sure COVID-19 has been a setback for mankind as such, and this would have in some way affected the farmers and your entire value chain. What are the three most important challenges that you think will come with new normal, and what would you be doing about it?
But let me tell you, yes, COVID-19 was a tough time and very challenging, and this was more of I would say that mental stress level was supposed to be very high in those days. But to be very honest, our people have in Amul from day one, the day the COVID was identified and then the Janta curfew had done, till date, not a single employee has taken any holiday. They have all come, they have all worked. Not a single farmer. It has not happened that they have not poured the milk. It has not happened that we have not collected the milk from them. It has not happened that we have not reached the milk to your doorstep. And I think it is well known across India now that Amul was only there. I've been getting calls from many people that everything or anything which was, they were thinking we will get it or not, but they were sure that Amul milk was there at their doorstep on their parlors. So that is where we had a very good value chain, right from the farmer to the consumer, and the money coming back from the consumer to the going back to the farmers in the COVID time. We could manage it very. It was tough time, but yes, we managed it till date, and now it has become a part and parcel of the system. The point here is that after this, since during this pandemic, the challenges have been very big challenges. The first challenge, if I talk about the farmers, was their education. Educating the farmer about COVID was first challenge in those days. But now they have become the part of their everyday, like having the mask, creating a social distance, washing their hands, getting sanitized sites before they come into the mandi for pouring of the milk, or whatever information is available in the village has to be transferred. So that challenge has now been overcome. But the challenge right now is to create the mindset of the employee, with the family, the kind of fear, psychosis where everybody is being. So the challenge right now is for our employees to give a lot of input, a lot of training, spiritual training, and kind of, the programs where we can lift their mental stress level can be reduced. At the same time, their health can be protected. We have to give a lot of efforts in maintaining not only the employees' health, but their family health is equally important. Like our families for Amul Parivar is for farmers also. So not only for the member who's pouring the milk, but for their family immunity, for their family immunity for our employees. At the same time, for our distributors and the retailers, which they are supposed also, because they are the frontline soldiers who have been selling the product to the consumer. So the challenge has been to up their minds, make their minds stronger in fighting out,
and maintaining overall health status of all the functionaries.
Yes, that is the key challenge, and which we are now working at this point of time. That is a very most important aspect. And I would say that yes, because of this COVID-19, the sales got dipped at particular time now, but now slowly, like ice cream is not moving at all. People are not eating ice cream.
Yes.
In last 3 months, the entire season has gone for, it has gone for dog. The sales have slipped down by only, in the first month was like 5% of compared to last year, where we were expecting growth of 20%. So, and then in the next month, we thought we may able to cut up to the 50% of the ice cream sale compared to last year, which was also not been met. But now, yes, things have started improving. But challenge is to ensure that that the product reaches to the farmer, to the consumer. But at the same time, because of this condition, the prices have also started to come down. The product prices have also started to come down, like the prices of powder and butter and ghee in last 2 days have come down drastically. So consumer at that one time is benefited, but that money when comes in and then has to be given to the farmers. Certainly that kind of, the challenge is how do you maintain that. And during COVID, as you know, that we took milk from all the non-poorer members of our milk cooperatives to support those people in the village. The stocks of our butter and powder had piled up. So you have a lot of, inventory in the system. So it is going to be a big challenge, and then how do we take it out? So
yeah, because they are perishable items, and
but that's why we converted it into powder. So we have a shelf life of 1 year, more than 1 year. So at least, but the stocks are the money is blocked in the stock. You have paid the money for the farmer for the milk, but you have converted it, kept it at your workplace. So until it goes into the market, gets sold down. But slowly, once the market gets open and the festival time comes in, so we expect that like Raksha Bandhan time, and then things will move ahead, because people would also make money.
We wish that we are really out of it by the time the celebrations really start for festivals. Sir, rapid fire round. Are you ready?
Yes.
So what's your punch? Management philosophy. What's the punch?
Simple, be positive, keep moving ahead, and carry everyone with you. That's as simple as that.
Carry everyone with you is superb. That is where cooperative spirit lies. Okay, your proud moments in Amul.
Making a chocolate plant where I never knew what chocolate was, and then showing it to our honorable Prime Minister and sharing him.
Yeah. I remember Narendra Modi ji was invited for the inauguration of the plant. Yes.
Good. Cherish those moments. Always cherish those moments.
Yeah. Your hobbies and your interests outside work.
Hobbies, walking. Walking is my favorite hobby. I just love to walk, watch movies, action movies particularly, and yes, music, listening music to all Kishore songs are my hobbies.
Okay, that's a versatile personality. How do you handle criticism, especially from media or from general public?
It's as simple as that. If you have done mistake, accept it. If not, let it go.
Okay. Absolute no for a CEO.
No is like integrity. The first thing is the integrity has to be very sound. I always believe that is the key to the entire.
Okay.
Not compromise on that.
Okay. What makes a CEO? Ideal prominent traits.
It's like hardworking, good listener, and work as a team with positive approach. That's what I believe. These are the four things I always say that. Accept everyone. You have to. There should not be any enemy in the entire world. That is the way you have to. You have to accept it. Any situation.
Okay. And how do you manage your own learning?
I always prefer to be with youngs. They know what is happening. So always prefer to be with the children from 14 to 21, and then the second generation from 21 to 30. What exactly is happening there? What they are thinking. So prefer to be with the youngs to know what is happening, and certainly on professional side, what is happening around the globe has to be, your knowledge needs to be upgraded on technology and new developments.
Okay, so now I understand the reason for your vibrancy. Okay, your message to budding professionals for their life's journey.
Simple it is, because the new generation is, they want everything very fast. There is no shortcut in life. There is no shortcut. First thing. Second is hardworking. Always be positive. What may come, you need to be positive, and we should be a balanced professional person in life. That means you need to be with family as well as on your professional parts. So it's a combination that basically forms a true human being.
Okay, that has been very inspiring. And the time is kicking. I would still love to continue talking to you, but the time is kicking. It has been a great experience to listen to you, to understand your growth journey, to understand the growth journey of Amul. And it's really a great experience personally for me. And I'm sure the same experience with my viewers and friends who are listening to you, who are going to listen to you in future as well. Thank you so much. It was wonderful, and catch up with you at some other forum for some other agenda. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.